All right, a very good afternoon. It is 3 minutes after 2 o'clock. Nice to have you along. Thanks so much for tuning in. It has been a busy Tuesday. We just finished up a little while ago with Jerry from the Veterans Place. In an episode that is just baffling to me. Amazing. If you haven't seen it, do go back and give a watch, give a listen to it. It was just amazing. It's no secret with Raylene doing that show. Can't say enough about our veterans. We love them so much. It is a Tuesday afternoon. We've got Rex Thompson, who is running around in the background, finally sitting his ass down and ready to rock and roll. What's going on, buddy?
Pogues in the military. We don't like them guys.
Yeah. How are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing good.
You got Athena with you?
I do. I have one of my puppies, Athena. We have our other dog, Atlas.
Okay.
And they all have a touch of Pomeranian in them.
All right.
My daughter's got the Pomsky, which is a husky Pomeranian.
All right.
This is my she-pom.
Can you hold up Athena to the camera here so everyone can...
That's my little baby. It's just my baby dog.
So Athena weighs how much now?
2.8 pounds.
All right. Rex,
She's just my baby dog.
why such a tough guy like you? Badass in many ways, you know.
Really depends on who you ask. Like outside of the gym, or
just a bad boy, and you got this little tiny 2.8 pound.
what does the size of my dog have anything to do with anything?
Oh, I'm just why
I think that people with big dogs are making up for other things.
why
They're
not
lacking, like self-esteem,
Rex?
ego.
I see you. I see you, on the motorcycle. You got the big motorcycle. It's big. It's loud.
It's not loud. My new racer's not loud at all.
You got the big truck.
I do have a big truck because I got big equipment. I got to pull it around.
But then this little tiny,
My little peanut.
what? Yeah, but what's that gonna do?
What? I don't need her for protection.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying. When I think of you, in my mind, I've got the big Rottweiler with the spike collar on, and it just
Never in my life. I always had little dogs. I've had a couple German Shepherds, but other than that, I've always had Dash Hounds, Shih Tzus, Lhasa Apsos. I love my little lap dogs, man. And I don't want dogs that are bigger than me, which is every other dog but a Shih Tzu. What if I have to defend myself? I ain't defending myself against a Rottweiler or Pit Bull or none of that stuff.
Listen. The empty chair next to you, we were hoping to get Sophia in here to sit with you today and to chat, and she just wasn't able to get in here.
Fucking kids, man.
She's
They're
busy.
wishy-washy. Their schedules, you never know. Hormones, who knows?
Can
No, I didn't say that. I don't want her punching me in the face tonight. That's funny because they just had this big. They just had a debate online, and it kind of bugged me because some guy posted, they're like, "Do you really think Amanda Nunes could beat up a 250-pound man?" And I said, "Absolutely, 100%." And they're all like, "You don't know a thing." No, you're right. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know that I have punched Sophia Hayes as hard as I could in the face, and she bit down on her mouth guard and still came forward with pressure.
And so, she's how old is Sophia?
She's 19, 135 pounds. Just tough as nails. I mean, she spars with Big Ed, and like Ed will punch her to get her to back off, and she doesn't back off. She keeps coming. And a lot of people think that just because you're big and you punch somebody that you're automatically going to knock them out. That's not true. You still have to hit people in the right place. And she's good enough to where she keeps her chin down. So if you hit her, you can hit her super hard, but you're probably going to hit her in the forehead, or it's not going to be a clean shot. So it's wild to me. And it's funny because most of them are the hillbilly rednecks. They're the ones smoking the Marlboros, drinking the Pabst Blue Ribbon. And they're like, damn girl, come over here and I'm going to beat her ass.
Rex Thompson from Donny Brooke Fight Promotions, Vermont's first sanctioned fight promoter. The Battle in Barrie 13 is coming Saturday, May 25th at the Barrie Auditorium. Rex has been, obviously is very comfortable in front of the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Has been on the Aired Out podcast many times.
Many.
I can't even say several. It's just
been many.
Many.
We talk about everything. You can get me going on anything. We'll start with fighting. We'll start with self-defense. We'll go to this, and then we'll end up with politics and the community, and
What happened?
Then we'll end it with loving everybody, right?
What happened with Sophia in the cage last time around Battle in Barrie?
So Sophia was originally booked with, I can't remember. We had her originally booked. Something happened. The girl got injured during camp. I don't remember.
No,
I don't remember the detail, but it didn't happen. So we brought in a replacement. It was another girl. She was older. She's actually a cancer doctor out of Pennsylvania, and but she had her first Thai fight. She had been training. She felt good. She wanted to keep on fighting. So that was her second Thai fight, Sophia's first Thai fight. When I say Thai, and from now on when I refer to Thai, I am talking about Muay Thai kickboxing. That's what I'm talking about.
And Sophia won her first debut fight in the cage.
Yep. First round, it was kind of back and forth. They did their thing. They felt each other out. They came in between the rounds, and Lucas made some adjustments. He told her to slip off her angle, and when she slipped off her angle, he said, it's a free shot. You have a free shot to punch her. What he wasn't expecting was she kicked her in the face instead of punched her. She was like, wow, it's wide open. So she gave her a headshot, and she kicked her out with a head kick in the second round. She set her up for it and then blasted her with that head. That head kick was it wasn't a fluke. That was in between the rounds. Lucas sat down. He talked with her. He said, hey, I notice when after your flurry, if you slip your angle, this is where she's going to be. And so Sophia did exactly what he told her to and head kicked her and knocked her out. And that's why it's so important to have a good Sophia's don't get me wrong. Sophia is a great female fighter. I don't want to say she's great. She is very good for her age, but she has a ways to go, but she's taking the right route to get there. She's not great yet, but she has the potential to be great. Now things in life can happen, like boys or girls or whatever.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
So what you're saying is if she gets a boyfriend and is distracted enough in life, I might be able to take her out.
No, it better be a motherfucker in the gym because he's not going to make it through the gauntlet at the gym.
When I first came over to, and I say this every time, but when I first came over to Lucas's gym, Granite City MMA, which was above the House of Tang.
Yes.
Walked in there. You had invited.
That's where I first went.
Right. You had invited me to just come by and observe and just see the gym. And I came in there, and I remember saying to both you and Lucas, this little girl over here, who at the time I'm pretty sure she was 16.
She might have been. Yeah, that was a couple. Yeah, because we've been at the other gym now for over 2 years, so 18. Yeah, she was 15
or 16.
Old.
I remember saying to both you and Lucas.
She had already been training for a couple of years
at
that point.
I remember just like she wouldn't stand a chance against me if I was pissed off enough. I'd be able to.
Kids are sponges. They pick up on this so quick, especially the ones that are really into it. Because a kid just picks up on the moves on their own anyway and get bored. So you have to continue. Like a little kid is different from me learning.
Okay.
From the time that when I was a blue belt to the new blue belts that we have in our gym, just in that short period of 8 years, jiu-jitsu Lucas has evolved that gym so much that our white belts we just went through X-Guard, De La Hiva, a whole module on this, and they're full of white belts and shit. I was finger fucking through an armbar. I couldn't even get out from underneath Big Ed at that point. And these guys have already surpassed that. They're already so far ahead of the game compared to where it was just a few years back.
I love the fact that you guys are producing, I don't want to say fighters, but you're producing people who are walking around and carrying on through life with a hidden skill set.
Yeah.
It's here, but it's also here. It's here in the heart. It's here in the head. They're not walking around with a shirt on that says,
no.
I'm a
You know how you know who that guy is? Well, let me tell you who that guy is.
That's fascinating to me.
But I can tell you, I could point that guy out. I could walk up to that guy. I can find that guy in a crowd. Well, let me tell you, and most people think it's the big guy with the big mouth in the corner. That's not the guy. It's the guy you bump into in the bar and he goes, "Hey man, excuse me," and walks away. That dude's probably a badass.
Isn't that amazing?
It's the guy that you bump into and they're like, "You motherfucker, I can't believe I'll beat the brakes off you with a smile on my face."
Yeah.
But that guy that goes out of his way to apologize to you, I'm telling you, that dude's probably a badass. He's probably a killer.
Respect.
If he can't beat you up, he's probably got a knife or a gun in his back pocket and is well-versed in using those too. Just don't mess with them people. If they're not asking for trouble, don't give it to them. Who was it? I just watched it and he talked about that. Don't ever pick a fight unless you're willing to kill somebody.
Yeah. Right.
So if a guy steps on your shoes or something, that was what he was talking about in the video. The guy steps on your shoes and say, "Hey man, excuse me."
The Granite City Open that was just held at Granite City MMA was incredible.
That was great.
It was the first time you guys had ever done anything like this.
Yep.
Sophia just was amazing.
Yeah, Sophia had some really, really tough matches. I was super proud of all the ladies that were there. There was no match that was I think every match went to overtime.
Yeah.
So
Sophia had to work for that $1,500 prize.
Oh yeah, that was definitely not given. And the wildest thing is the person that, when it came to all the girls in that division and you looked around, you would have had a perception that girl was going to be out in the first round.
Yeah.
And she was in the finals against Sophia. Sophia was doing I think she did 3 overtimes before they finally.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love, one of my biggest things, I love to see females training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That is a huge, I think because of their physical disadvantage to start with. Boys start out, we're usually bigger, we're usually stronger. There's always, please ladies, I'm not saying that you can beat I'm just saying.
Wait a second.
It's just
hold up.
We start out with an advantage in life as a boy, physically, not mentally or whatever, but physically. So we start out that because our role in life in nature is always as a protector. The wife is the nurturer. So we're built different. We're just absolutely built different, okay? But so I will go out of my way to make sure that the girls stay in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The boys, we don't pay as much attention to them until they start getting a colored belt, and they show us that they really want to be there. The girls, we go out of our way. We want to make sure that they're learning to protect themselves. This has become my favorite time of the day is when I get to go teach and I get to go mentor these little kids.
Yeah,
I love this.
I know you do, and you're so good at it. you embody it, brother.
So the first thing I do is I don't lie to the parents or the children. I let them know. I used to be a shitbag. I was a piece of shit. I hurt people. I wasn't always law abiding. I did bad things. But that's what makes me the person that I am today. That gave me the knowledge to know what real life self-defense is like. You can theorize what real life self-defense is like, but have you ever been beat by 35 guys in a small fucking room and had your head caved in? I have. Have you ever sat in someone's garage and waited for them to come home and beat them over a head to prove a point because of what they did? Yeah. So I'm probably one of the best persons to teach you real self-defense, why it's important. Like,
but also not to go looking for a fight.
I don't look no more.
I'm saying you teach. Don't go looking for problems.
Absolutely. So our kids and our beginners, you know what they learn? They learn how to protect themselves.
Yeah.
They learn how to get up off the ground so that somebody can't pin them to the ground. They learn how to get away. Because we are using...
You just said the words.
Well,
Get away.
Exactly.
And
because this
yourself.
is what? This is self-defense. We are not doing...
self-offense.
Right. So we are using defensive jujitsu...
To get out of a situation.
We are not using offensive jujitsu. The last thing I want to do is be on the ground with my legs wrapped around some guy's head, pulling a triangle, taking 30 seconds to choke him while his buddy's stabbing me, his other buddy's punching me in the head. That is not what I'm doing. But the worst place you can be is pinned to the ground.
Sure.
Having your head caved in the pavement and not being able to get out from underneath somebody.
And
one of the very
yourself.
first things we do, day one, lay on the ground. I'm going to sit on top of you, or I'm going to actually have somebody else sit on top of you that's not even trained. Pin your arms to the ground, and you get out from underneath them. Everybody squirmed. Oh, it's impossible. I was like, it doesn't look impossible. Whew, this is how it works. So, but that's where you don't want to be. You want to always be able to never be pinned in one spot. You want to be able to move and get away.
Yeah.
And what about women?
Right.
What's the biggest thing that happens to 99% of every woman? Sexual assault. Let's be fucking real. Every little hormonal dirtbag kid, once he gets a hard on, does not stop when he's told to stop. And every little girl is at some point faced with this horrible situation. And you know what happens? They lay there because they don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Our girls don't.
No.
So that's where the girls learn, like, we are going to absolutely use, because we know this is a one-on-one situation.
Right.
So the little girls, we take it a step further.
Yeah.
Those little girls are going to learn how to choke you. So you're going to be unconscious waiting for the police to come pick your ass up. You're going to shit yourself and you're going to be unconscious sitting there.
I love that, man.
The boys...
Let's just say it like
we can't do it with the boys, because what do the boys do?
Yeah.
What's the first thing the boys do? Hey, Billy, come on over here. I want to show you something. And so next thing you know, you got a little boy over there. He's like, I didn't mean to kill him. He goes, I held the choke too long. I just want to see if I can make it pass out. So boys are stupid like that. I know, I was one. So we know what they do. So the girls are learning submissions. The girls are learning that stuff. That we're giving the girls every single advantage in the world that they should have to win a fight and survive a life and death situation or a sexual assault.
I think it's fantastic. I got to say, man, Tom DeBlas posted something.
He's a pretty inspirational guy because he's a big burly guy. And you know, he's kind of the same thing. He was like, he
posted something. He posted something a few weeks ago that really got my attention on Facebook. He posted that he had learned of two young kids who were being bullied in school. He spoke with their parents, and he said, look, no charge. Let them come to my academy. I'm going to begin at the beginning with these two kids, your children, and I'm going to teach each of them how to defend themselves if they're in a situation where they're getting bullied and there's no adults around or whatever to interfere and get involved and protect them. They're going to learn how to protect themselves. Both parents turned down his offer and said, we don't want our kids to go looking for a fight.
And that's the whole reason you do this, so you don't.
He wrote back, he posted, I have never been so disappointed and I can't remember if he used the word disgusted, but it was either disappointed or disgusted. Congratulations to the parents. You just made one of the worst decisions of your entire life.
Yeah, that guy's a world-class jiu-jitsu guy. They would have learned, like, he's the founder of Buddies Over Bullies.
Yeah.
So what people don't understand, they assume when you walk into a fight gym or you walk into a martial arts studio, you walk into any of those places, they automatically assume that you're learning to fight so that you can walk out onto the street, pick a guy out and go, yo, I'm going to beat your ass today.
Right.
Absolutely. It's the total opposite. It's the complete opposite is what happens there.
Yeah.
So when you learn how to fight, and I tell this to the kids, especially the teenagers learn this in a really quick, like we have some kids in high school that are in our gym and they've been training with us for like 3 years. And you watch them hit the bags with precision and just the strength. Those kids will never fight in high school. They've been through the whole 4 years, not one person challenged it. You think they walk in there because every day they're in a gym fighting against people that know how to fight. So it's a challenge.
Right.
It's always a challenge. It's
Sure.
a challenge. You're like, wow, that's really cool. So now what is the point? You already know if you walk in the high school, there's not a kid in that high school. There's not a kid on the wrestling team that's going to do a dang thing except get beat up, because kids are horrible fighters. They really, really are. They're still trying to figure out their bodies. They're not. You have to teach that. They don't learn that on their own. Okay. Out of everybody in a high school, there was like one that had that fight IQ, that athleticism.
You're right.
But it's still it was still a raw thing.
What can everything that you're talking about goes full circle, and at the end of the circle is what happens in the Barrie Auditorium in a cage situation. Yes. What can someone expect on Saturday, May 25th at the Barrie Auditorium?
Oh, so Saturday, May 25th.
It's everything you're talking about coming to example.
Absolutely. So what this is how you try to build a community and get a community out of an opioid crisis. That's what it is. We're getting the little kids in there. We're getting them. I tell the little kids, like we preach into their head. They're little kids, man. So we tell them what happens to good people. Good things happen to good people. We instill into people, like, so when we're training and everything, our uki is supposed to be more important than us. Their safety, their improvement means more to us than our own improvement and safety, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's a Japanese culture. So when we mentor these kids, that's what we point out to them, like, hey, don't go up and try to fight a bully. You should hug them. You should actually feel bad for them, because there's something really, really going on in their life to make them act like that. Normal people don't act like that. Okay? A normal person doesn't just all of a sudden blow up and scream. If all of a sudden you started screaming, if you jumped up out of your chair and you said, you fucking piece of shit, and started screaming at me, that's not normal for JD Green. There's something else going on.
Yeah.
So we try to tell them, like, don't jump. Violence is the absolute last case scenario. Mm. That's what this is. We're going to use everything that we learn throughout our life. We're going to learn to, first, how do we de-escalate with a simple body language? Let's start with raising our eyebrows. Hey. Just the next time, this is the easiest thing that I will tell you. The next time you feel confrontation, you're feeling amped up, both of you are having an amped up conversation, and this is what makes the internet really hard, is there's no body language, but we pick up on that body language. Raise your eyebrows. Hey, what's going on, man? Your body that right there might diffuse an entire situation that was going the wrong way. So that's the kind of thing, is building little kids up, even if they don't train. And I tell them this, even if you don't train with us, we don't care. I don't care. We do the free class as long as you feel comfortable in a gym. If you don't feel comfortable in this gym, then find a gym you feel comfortable in.
But learn.
But go to a gym. No, it's go to a gym. If you want to lift weights, lift fucking weights, man. But we are trying to get these kids at 4, 3, 5 years old into the gym and play games. That is a happy place.
Yeah. You call them jiu-jitsu games, which
Yes.
it's a lot of movement, rolling around, getting comfortable, being in physical contact with.
Yes. So like I just started with the little kids there. Like the boys want to wrestle. We don't put boys and girls together like that. We don't at that little age, because they're still, it's awkward to start with.
Sure.
So, and the other thing is just being very upfront, being very, very real, not making things awkward.
Yep.
So we do that. Like, for example, last week.
Getting them comfortable.
Yeah, we had all the boys. I said, okay, boys, you guys are always over here. You want to fight, you want to wrestle. I'm going to get you guys wrestling right now. I'm going to put you in the ground. I want one of you to sit on the ground. I want the other one to sit on top of you. I want you to pin his arms to the ground. And what I want you to do is I want you to get out from underneath him and pin his arms to the ground. Well, the boys go crazy because now they get to wrestle around and it's in a safe environment. And we do a handshake and a fist bump. So the handshake is to acknowledge that you guys are friends. The fist bump is to acknowledge that you're going to compete without malice and you're going to compete to not hurt each other. Okay? So that's what that handshake and that fist bump is for. So now the boys get in there, and I said, girls, you do not have to do this. I want you to sit to the side. This is not something normally girls do, so I want you guys to sit to the side, but at any time you want to join in. Well, it took about one round. Really? And then the girls were like, oh, no, I want in on this too. So that's how we started. And then we get the girls, rolling with each other, and then it's just rolling. They don't care who they're rolling with as long as they're getting rolls in. And so that's how we break the awkwardness with the kids and even some adults and stuff.
The jiu-jitsu games over at Granite City MMA, Mondays and Wednesdays from 4:15 to 4:45.
Yes, sir.
Charge for this?
Nothing. I donate my time. Donation, if anybody ever wants to give a donation.
And then
that's how we raise money. That's why we do those cash opens. We try to raise money through those. What we do is we get sponsors to pay for the winnings so we can collect the funds on the door from the competitors to come in.
Of course that makes sense.
And so that's what we do.
Then you have at Granite City MMA the beginner Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is Mondays and Wednesdays.
No, that's a self-defense class.
All right.
It is self-defense Jiu-Jitsu.
That's the one that's from 5 to 6.
Yes, sir.
And Saturdays at 10 a.m.
Saturdays at 10 a.m. is the beginner striking, but yes, it's all one class. They can, if they only want to go to the Saturdays beginners, they can. If they want to hit all 3 of the beginners, they can also hit that too.
What is someone going to see at the Barrie Auditorium May 25th? First timer, never been to a Donny Brooke Fight Promotions battle in Barrie.
The first thing is the setup.
Is this fake wrestling? What is this?
Oh, this is absolutely not fake wrestling. No, fake wrestling. One thing that we have in common, we're both doing it for your entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hate to say fake wrestling. It's professional wrestling. They're professionals. They get paid to do a job. That's what they do. So, the fighters are actual. They're trained fighters. They come out of gyms. They put in fight camps. They cut weight. This is the level right before turning pro. So we'll have guys that'll come in and we will have debut guys. But when I say a debut guy, a debut person is not what you think. Sophia Hayes was a debut person when she fought her first fight. I would not have wanted to be the debut across from Sophia Hayes for her debut. Sophia Hayes they have other fights. They have tournaments. She's trained her entire life.
Yes.
So, when she goes and they fight in the youth fighting for Gamma USA when they go fight in that world tournament. She took second in the world to the Slovakian in a split decision. So she did, so none of those fights count as sanctioned fights.
Right.
Okay. So now she's a debut. So it's the same thing as, you move up like high school wrestling. You go through your high school wrestling and then you go to college. So I would say like this amateur level is like the college level. This is because this is where you're going to run into D1 wrestlers and stuff like that. These are guys that are black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu are going to be amateurs. So that's the type of amateurs we're talking about. This is the level right before they turn pro. They need like 3 wins or whatnot, and then they're going to turn pro. That's why most of our title holders don't come back, is because after they win a title, they go straight to pro.
It's going to be one hell of a night.
But think about that road. Every kid that's out there right now, you may not be a baseball player. You may not be good at chess. You may not be good at a lot of things. But there was that, you ever see that video? The guy says, this kid goes into a judo studio and he's only got one arm. And the coach teaches him one move. It's just fucking one move. And he makes him drill it millions and millions and millions of times. And then he enters the kid into a tournament. That's the only move the kid knows. It's the only one. And he gets in there in the first competitor and he beats him. He's like, holy shit, how the hell I beat him? So the kid goes on, he wins the tournament. And he goes, how do I do? He goes, well, there's only one move in jiu-jitsu. He goes, in judo, that the counter takes your left arm. He goes, without that, there's no counter. So all through your life, what you thought was you were bad at and how bad you are could actually be a blessing. So where you don't get along, and you may get along in an MMA gym. You may, and that opportunity for you to go somewhere and be somewhere is absolutely there. There is a direct path from that gym, this gym, that gym, straight to a professional level, straight to one, straight to Bellator, UFC. And though all those promotions are growing, now the money's becoming real money and stuff. We could turn this little town back into that fighting town we used to be. There used to be a huge boxing community.
Golden Gloves.
Golden Gloves was huge here. Chris Brault's great-grandfather at the show. He was 90. He just died. He was like 97 years old.
Did he just pass?
Yeah.
But he saw Chris, man.
Yeah.
Kick ass. I don't know what battle and Barry number that was, but
I don't know. But I think that was the night he beat Kenyon Moore.
It was the night, I think, that he broke his foot, wasn't it? Pretty sure.
Might have been.
Pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
It is it's electrifying in the auditorium.
It is. So when you walk in, it's the setup. You're like, wow. Because you have an image of the auditorium. You have a certain image.
Yeah.
You've been in there hundreds of times. You've been to the gun show.
Yeah.
You've been to the craft fair.
Forget that image.
That is not what you're going to walk into whatsoever. It is so loud in there. The music's going. The lights are going on in there. There's a big screen up there with the pay-per-view production people. There's camera people. I think NBC5 is going to be there. Felipe Silva, UFC fighter Felipe Silva will be there. UFC fighter Joe Taylor will be there. They have guys on the fight that are amateurs fighting on the card. They also have professionals fighting on the card. That's how crazy it is in Little Barrie, Vermont. And I really...
Number 13, buddy. That's a lot of events.
That's 13 at the auditorium.
At the auditorium. There were ones before that.
Oh, yeah, the Redneck Ruckus.
That's right.
Right. That's why I like Adam Lash, man.
And that
He's
was
starting out the same way we started out.
That was the inception, really, of Donny Brooke Fight Promotions.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, that's how we came up with the name, everything. Because
who is Donny? Who is Donny?
There is no Donny.
And who is Donny, Mr. Brooke? Who is that man?
There is no Mr. Brooke. There's no Donny. Let me tell you what Donny Brooke stands for. And this goes all the way back. This is in my goddamn history. So the Redneck Ruckuses we'll just say might have got a little out of hand. In the parking lots, there wasn't just fights happening inside the cage.
No.
So,
and there may or may not have been some beer consumption from some of the fighters.
So, let's just say if you've ever seen Roadhouse, okay? But we didn't have no bad. So,
yes, Roadhouse. Oh my God.
So we were sitting in our house at Taylor, and we were all just like, what should we come up with a name? Because we bought the cage, we bought everything. We had the truck, the cage, and we're like, but we're gonna come up with our own name. And they're like, man, and we just happened to be talking about the last show, and there was a fight in the parking lot, and there was a few people and stuff. And Taylor's like, oh, we should call it Donnybrook. I was like, what is a Donnybrook? And she's like, it's a public brawl. I was like, oh yeah. It's an old Irish slang for a public brawl. It's usually followed by like a town meeting. It's usually politically involved. Like someone's pissed. It's a town meeting that erupts into a Donnybrook.
I want to just interrupt real quick here to Will and Glenn about the lighting here. Being right on North Main Street with the sun coming through the windows, we have 5 lights as bright as they can go on Rex, which when you're fighting against the natural sunlight, you're never going to win. So
we got to put a backdrop.
It's pretty tough.
Can you see me now?
I don't know if we want to see you, man.
Right.
So obviously, I want to get into tickets for this event,
yes.
and more. But
there it is.
No, we got the sun off the top of the bald head. But what's the deal?
DonnyBrookFightPromotions.com.
Okay.
Head on over there. You can pre-buy your tickets. You can buy a table. I think the front row is actually already sold out.
Okay.
So, but we still have second row tables over there, and then plenty of general
fully
admission.
waited on.
Oh, yeah. Fully by Gusto's. We have it catered by Gusto's. We'll have Donny Tots there. We'll have your favorite drinks. They have waitresses.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
great time. I mean, it's Barrie.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, there's a few things. There's not going to be anybody at Gusto's because they're all going to be at up there.
We'll be at Gusto's afterwards.
We'll be at Gusto's afterwards.
So. And you can get food and everything.
Oh, yeah, you go up there, you get your Donny Tots. So your Donny Tots are tater tots with cheese, and your favorite top is usually like a pulled pork or something.
Pulled pork, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
$50 is what the tickets are.
Yep.
You can get them at the door, but we highly recommend that you get them in advance at DonnyBrookFightPromotions.com.
Yes, absolutely.
Visit your social media. Obviously, on Facebook and Instagram, you can get links right there to not only tickets, but also video and photos from past events.
So the other thing that we started doing is we're trying to help gyms out in the community, and we've decided, so we do a pay-per-view link that's on there.
Yeah.
And it cost us a few $1,000s to have the production crew come and set up and tape it and all that stuff. It costs us that money. But we're starting to get beyond that money for what it costs us for the production crew. So what we're going to start doing is any gyms or anybody that wants to do fundraiser, anything like that, we have a link. We sell pay-per-view links. And we can put their name on it, and what it does is it gives them a unique code.
Sure.
So everybody that buys through that link, say you just go around, you get all your friends, you buy one.
Yeah.
We donate $10 to your gym or your cause.
That's fantastic.
Whatever it is. It's just a way to spread the wealth back into the community a little bit here.
Whose great idea was this? Was it Brenda's?
No, that one was mine. I was
really?
Because I thought, I see a lot of struggling gyms, and we can't have gyms like closing at this point. We need more gyms.
Sure.
We need so. That's what we're going to do on all of our. That's what we're doing on our pay-per-view sales. We do the same thing. Street Beefs has a link. They have a link on our pay-per-views. All the fighters have a link on there, so they could get their commission for sales.
Tell me about the partnership with Street Beefs.
Street Beefs, what a great organization. Those cats are down there in Virginia. Chris Wilmore started that. He's one of the founders. me and the wife are going to go down there. May is going to be crazy because we got our show, so I don't see us going down in May. But hopefully in June or July, I'd like to go down to one of his shows and meet him. We talk on the phone. We're both really just trying to give a platform that for fighters to get exposure. The fight game, being the baddest dude isn't all it is for the fight game. There's a lot more to it. And young fighters coming up, you will see guys get fights and you're like, how the fuck did that guy get a fight? Then you go on his Instagram and you're like, 75,000 followers. I now know how that guy got a fight.
Interesting.
And I mean, that's the reality of the situation. That's being real. I'm not lying. They absolutely fighters will get fights according to how popular. Look at Conor McGregor. It happens in the UFC. It absolutely happens everywhere. So I tell fighters, I'm like, it is awkward and stuff like that, but it's a part of playing the game. If you want to turn pro, you got to start at the amateur level, start building your social media platforms and stuff like that. And that's the hardest thing with Sophia and the Granite City people, because that's all they want to do. They just want to go train. Fuck you. You do the they need to have they need to hire someone to do their social media.
Exactly. You have recently teamed up with some outstanding photographers. I mean, look at the pictures that have come out of Saratoga.
Oh, do you guys in Vermont? Like, holy shit! You missed a sold out show in that Saratoga City Center. It was,
and that's also Donny Brooke Fight Promotions.
No, okay. Let's clarify this. I'm actually heading out. I'm going to go out and see Don and Jay out there. I'll tell you how this whole thing went down. I'll give you the nuts and bolts. I'll let you know. So Don Wallen came to me. He was like, hey, man, I really want to open a promotion over here in New York. I would like to have a mixed card. Nobody does a mixed card over here. He's like, so it's not, it's not competing with anybody. I was like, hey, man, I support you 100%. You're my friend. And so I gave him an option. I said, this is what I'll do. I'll loan you $10,000. I'll loan you 10 grand. And you start a promotion over there. You can start your own promotion in your own name, start from scratch, stuff like that. And he's like, well, what do you think about opening up a second Donnybrook? I was like, I would do an affiliate because we have so much going on. I was like, I really can't. You would have to have your own staff. But we'd have to have some guidelines that we keep the same. So we did the first show, and there was some things we're going to tweak, but oh my God, for their first show they came on, Don wanted to expand the Donny Brooke brand.
Sure.
And he wanted a mixed card. We do a mixed card here in Vermont. It's all the same. It's the same sanctioning body. We try to keep it the same. We got a couple tweaks that we're going to do, but other than that, I think it'll be almost perfect next show too. So, and they sold out. They had to close the doors. The event center was like, no more. So, and it was great. Because there was people in tuxedos over there. Wow. It was wild. So they're trying to get in during the Belmont over there. So people from Vermont drove over there. They had super exciting fights. They had a 5-round banger between LG Pennell, Little Gangster Pennell, versus Adina Hornstra. I got to sit live. I played it on the Instagram. I did it live on Instagram, and I sat right there and I watched it. And now I know why they call her Little Gangster. She was just like, oh, fuck you. That was nothing. Whoa, whoa.
Wow.
And then she got done the fight, and she's like a super nice little Southern girl from Texas. It was wild. It's wild to watch them turn that switch.
Yeah.
Adina's the same, whether she's fighting or whether she's taking care of Klaus.
She's amazing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was so proud of her. That was her first 5-round fight. And that's a legit opponent. That's the toughest opponent Adina's ever fought. And she went 5 brutal rounds with her.
How many fights do we have May 25th? And drop some names. Who's going to be there? What are we looking forward to?
Jimmy,
and what are you still in need of fighters at this point?
We are. We're still looking for a couple spots. Most of the spots are the one I'm gonna give you guys a teaser. I'm not gonna tell you them all, but I'm gonna tell you one teaser at 135-pound female, local girl. You might know her.
Okay.
Sophia Hayes.
Yep.
Well, this time we decided to look a little bit further and toughen the competition.
Okay.
So she is going to fight the number 5 ranked girl from Virginia, Hannah Ross, at 135 pounds at the Barry Auditorium. And that's just on the main card. That's not the headliner event. That's not the co-main event. That's not none of it.
What can you tell us? Co-main or headliner?
Nothing.
What if I put you in a arm bar or whatever the fuck it's called?
I'd let you break my arm.
Threaten you.
I'd let you break it.
Okay.
I'm that guy.
When are you going to release that?
It's coming soon. We got fights that we're releasing every day from the Saratoga fight. If you go onto our Donnybrook fight promotions and you didn't make it out there, if you don't want to wait for the individual fights, you can still buy the pay-per-view. I think it's at a lowered rate now.
What are we going to do with Glenn Brummert? He won't leave his house. He won't come up to the Barry Auditorium. What do we have to do?
Do we need to send him a pay-per-view?
We might have to do that or kick his door in and rip him out of there.
Send him up a 12-pack of beer and a pay-per-view.
but being up at the auditorium and feeling the energy of the crowd is unreal.
Both have their benefits. It's nice to have the pay-per-view because you got the commentator there. You get to see the effects, the video out, the tail of the tapes. You get to see all that good stuff.
And Ben is so good, man. Jesus, good.
We're also got Justin T. Manning for our ring announcer, and he's a professional that does Warriors Cup. He's coming up from New York City.
Yep.
So
he was there last.
Nope. This is the first time, Justin.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Justin's coming up from New York City.
All right.
No, that was Tom Kilkenny. He is the regional director for Gamma USA.
All right. Gamma. I mean, this is big time to have Gamma.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit, dude.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is we have these. I mean, these are nationally recognized fights.
Yeah.
These fights get recorded with ABC, so everybody in the world can see these fights. This isn't. I don't know any other way to explain it. You have to come and experience it.
Look at folks like Michael Booten. Never been to a battle in Barrie. Never experienced anything like this. Oh, I don't want to see people fighting. And how's that necessary? Blah blah blah. Goes up. Loves it.
Absolutely.
Has a great time. Look at me. My first time. I was with you. My first fight up there. I don't want to see that in the blood. And why are we fighting? And blah, blah. Within 5 minutes, I was screaming. Hit him in the face.
You know what
what is it primal? What is it about?
Oh, it's the competitive. It's the energy. It's the energy in the crowd. It's the energy in the fighters. You got a bunch of guys that are walking around amped up, ready to just.
Oh my god!
They just
pure
and
adrenaline.
They can't let that energy go until they get in the cage. So that energy is buzzing through the auditorium. And then when someone wins or there's a knockout, then it's the energy that's just flowing through now the whole crowd, the energy is flowing.
Oh yeah.
Then a few whiskeys later, it's just whiskey energy at that point.
This Barrie City, is so blessed to have you and Donnybrook Fight Promotions.
We're blessed to have the
and
auditorium.
To bring that to the Granite City.
I think it's a two-way street. We grew up here. We grew up just up the road, and we're thankful for them. And I'm sure they're thankful for us coming around too.
Who's replacing Jeff Bergeron?
Rick Taft. He called me this morning.
Okay.
So, yeah, as far as I know, that was it. Was Rick. So,
does Rick understand what you guys do up there?
I know Rick.
How well does he understand how important it is?
Oh, Rick's good. Rick is good. They're all good, man. They're all good.
Are you hoping some more city councilors will get up there, like Tom Lozon and others? Maybe even our mayor.
You know what's funny?
Can you imagine if the mayor went up there?
You know what's funny is I met the mayor of Saratoga. He was there at the show. He had a VIP table.
At Saratoga?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big deal up there.
But not Barry Auditorium.
No, it's just a bunch of rednecks beating each other up.
Aha.
No, they would be surprised. And that's the hardest part. You got to get them in there for the first time. And we've built a base. We have about 700 people that are guaranteed to show up every single show. Okay. I have people fighting over getting the VIP tables front row.
What do you say to city government right now that has never been to the Barry Auditorium to see a battle in Barry?
I don't want to get into. So when you get into politics, this is the weird part about it. People get funny.
We're not getting into politics, though.
But it will turn political.
No, it won't, because I'll stop it.
Okay, whatever. I can't hear what anybody say, but this is the deal. So I would absolutely offer them free entry as a VIP, not as a. You can't give them free tickets and stuff. People get pissy about that, but it's their building up there. I mean, they're in charge of that building, so they're more than welcome as part of the staff to come up there and walk around.
Especially on Friday night, on weigh-in night.
Just come in and see it. Just come see the setup. Come see the people. Those are your constituents in there. Yeah. You know, you want to get up, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Those are your constituents. Those are Barry City people.
That's right.
There's about 2,000 of them.
I was just going to say that. and think about
it's a pretty big voice up there is all.
Whether they're into this or not, they should come up at least on media night and see what this is all about.
Absolutely.
Donnybrook Fight Promotions is bringing in not only the fighters and their families and their coaches and their team from all around, filling hotels and restaurants.
Oh yeah.
You guys are really helping the economy.
Now we're doing it 4 times. We're trying to do it 4 times a year up here.
4 times a year.
We're doing it 4 times a year here. We're doing it 4 times over in Saratoga. We're doing 8 shows.
Oh my God.
We're looking at a couple other places. Maybe
will the Allen brothers be fighting this year?
Austin just fought Saturday at Saratoga.
Okay.
He just fought there. He lost to Andrew Peterson.
Okay.
Good kids. I really like them guys.
Are there any other fighters that you can drop names that you're looking forward to seeing?
Rodney Nowak. There you go. I'll give you that one. Rodney Nowak is on this card because all the guys down at the city plant think he beat up a guy that shouldn't have been in the cage. Well, I'm here to tell you, Rodney Nowak has got himself a fight on his hands. And so the boys down there at the city garage can come up here and start doing some sports betting is what I'm thinking. We know Donnell Dexter is going to be up there betting on.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, Rodney and his family will all be up there because this is Rodney's second fight. I like Rodney. He's just that hometown hillbilly kind of guy, you know, but he's got a really good heart. He's a solid kid. Like, I could call him, anybody at the gym could call Rodney Noah and be like, Rodney, there's a fucking bear in my backyard. We come shoot it. He'd be like, I'll be right there. No, but you could call him for anything, and he would absolutely just give you the shirt off his back. He's that dude. He really is. Can we
get some of the bigger dogs from Street Beefs to make their way to Barry, Vermont?
Tim Yance. So Tim Yance just fought down at Street Beefs, and he won his fight, and he got recommended. So we're bringing Tim Yance. Tim Yance is coming up here, and he is going to be fighting at 130 pounds, 140 pounds. I can't remember.
Okay.
He's going to be doing it. Yes. Yep.
So how many fights total?
Right now, 15.
15.
Yep.
We'll
split,
2
pro fights.
We'll split right down the kind of the middle and take a brief intermission.
Yeah, it'll be real. It depends. If we have 15 fights, we may not have an intermission.
What
we didn't have an intermission at Saratoga.
What's the raffle for this year? I know you've done a lot of stuff in the past for veterans. What can we expect?
I think what we're gonna do is same thing. I'm gonna we'll probably donate the money to a gym.
Okay.
If a gym wants to set up a table. And we'll purchase a big screen TV, and they can sell tickets. That gym can, and I will donate all the money. All the money will go to them, and I'll donate the TV.
Sponsors.
Yes.
Talk to me.
So if you'd like to sponsor our shows, either our shows, all of our shows, one of our shows, one of our fights. You can sponsor individual fights.
Fighters.
You can sponsor fighter. You can not fighters, but because we do our shows, we do shows on Sundays. We do shows on Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Okay.
So we have those shows going on. We're trying to work out. We're trying to finish our television ad right now. So you'll start seeing those.
But you can. There's lots of different opportunities.
There's so many
sponsor.
ways to advertise. I mean, just think about every single spot on that cage.
Yeah.
There's spots all the way down to a couple $100 if you want to sponsor on there. Yeah. We're not the UFC. It doesn't cost you $10 million to put your name up on the
last time around.
Yep.
You had a little bit of a
I just picked up a new sponsor.
Who's that?
Bobby Bartlett.
Couldn't be better.
He's a good dude. Well, okay. So
State Farm
Insurance
couldn't be better.
No, I really like Bobby, and I'll tell you why. So what we do is we take local businesses. We take a couple local businesses, especially new businesses that have done there, and I've done some business with Bobby. So he's a solid guy. I like
solid.
Yep.
Love him.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a couple businesses, and we advertise for them. We put them on our ads. We let people see them.
Sure.
If it works out for them, perfect. Maybe they'll want to come along again.
Sure.
If not a big deal. But
yeah. Right.
we just it's something we do for a business, a new business, to try to help them get their word out.
Tall truck.
Yeah. Yep.
Good people.
Always good people. They sponsor us. That's why they're in the corners.
Yeah.
You'll see them on the pay-per-view, that tall truck right there.
Sure. Who else? Anyone else that you could think of off the top of your head?
Gusto's. We've got the Harringtons.
Yes.
That's the other one. Harrington's Food up there.
The Corey Hill Quick Stop.
The Corey Hill Quick Stop. Can't say enough about them good kids.
One of our sponsors also.
Perfect.
They're incredible. Not everything up there is fat-free.
No.
But it's damn good.
That should be like.
But you can grab and go with a salad. You can do a salad. But I'm just saying, pizza's fantastic. It's Mr. Z's pizza.
You know what? If you go to the gym, you can eat a fucking pizza.
Yeah, because you'll burn it off right away. I remember that you showed me your pizza one time in the form of sweat inside your little silver suit that you had on. It was amazing.
I do that every morning now.
Delicious.
Yeah. I do that every morning. I have a steam sauna in my living room. So I want to go back to the gym and fighters and stuff real quick, and community. So a lot of people assume that it's a fight gym. They're like, I'm too old. I'm 40 years old. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. I'm a little kid or whatever.
I'm a teacher.
I'm a teacher. Yeah. Some people don't want to spar.
Yeah.
Some people don't ever want to be a fighter.
Don't like conflict.
Don't like conflict. Sometimes people want to come in for the social. Just to come in and burn some off and bullshit with people and just be around other adults. Because a lot of times in life, we're stuck at jobs where we either don't talk to another person or we're a stay-at-home mom and all we do is talk to kids all day long. We never get to talk to an adult.
Right. And maybe don't have aspirations to end up in the cage during a battle with Barry.
Absolutely not. Yeah. So we invite everybody. We have something for everybody. Like my beginners class, like I had a kid come in and he's like, and he pulls me aside. He's like, "Hey man, I'm really scared." I said, "Why are you scared, my man?" He goes, "I'm starting at Spalding High School next year." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm really worried about bullies." And I was like, "Oh, fuck no, man." I said, "You've been coming in here and you've been training with us." I said, "You're not going to have to worry about any high school kid." And I said, "Not only that," I said, "Look around at all the kids in this fucking room right now."
Yeah.
I said, "Every single one of them wear a Granite City MMA shirt. And do you think any one of them is going to let one of their fellow teammates get beat up at Spalding High School wearing a Granite City MMA shirt?"
No.
So that's what we try to do. We're trying to build
family.
a community and with, and let people know you don't have to be a Billy badass. You don't come in and learn, roll around. Just learn to protect yourself.
Yeah.
That's your responsibility. It's no one else's responsibility. Nobody's here on earth to protect you.
Yeah.
That is the biggest fantasy. Like the cops are here to protect you. No, they're not. They're here to uphold the law. When somebody breaks the law, they arrest that person after the law's been broken. And if that law is you dying, they're not here to protect you. Nobody is. So it's your responsibility. And we see every day, your Second Amendment rights. You can't even open carry in some places now. So, I mean, you're not supposed to carry in some of them places, but it's your life. And I don't put my life in anybody else's hands. Nobody. I don't put my family's life in anybody else's hands. That's my responsibility.
You've said to me before, important to be a good person, to be a productive member of your society. It's important to get a job. It's important to be a good person. It's important to help others. It's important to learn how to drive. It's important to get a job. It's important to learn how to swim. It's important to
be a solid person, to be a solid person to the people in your life.
And you've said it's important to, if you want to be in sports, if you want to be in team sports, that's important. Build character. But it's most important to learn the skills of how to defend yourself and protect yourself over all other things.
How many people?
That's the biggest takeaway from any conversation that I've ever had with you. Is that right there?
Right. Well, people say to me all the time, "Well, I have a gun and I don't care. I carry it everywhere." That's sweet. What if the person's less than 21 feet from you and you don't practice quick draws? Like, now what? Now you're on the ground.
Right.
Your gun's taken away from you. You get fucked in the ass. Who's stopping it? Not you. If you depend on a tool or another person for your own protection, then you're depending on another person or another tool in your own life.
Yeah.
For me personally, and I don't care what anybody else does, I just know me personally that I know that's my personal responsibility. I'm not trying to be a cult. I'm not trying to be trying to push my religion or my views on anybody else. It's just that's how I feel.
Rex Thompson from Donnybrook Fight Promotions, our guest. Amateur and professional Muay Thai, MMA, kickboxing, and just everything. DonnybrookFightPromotions.com. $50 general admission tickets for the May 25th event, 249-3276.
Absolutely.
That's the number to call if you want to get tickets.
Yep.
They're going to be available at the door at 6 o'clock. Fighting starts at 7. 7, like, sharp. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. And make sure to purchase your pay-per-view under the fighter's name that you support, which is a great point here. And again, local businesses can sponsor any fighter with their business name and logo on the shorts and rash guards. Simple to do. Easy. Takes a second.
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to be with Ben on the air? I mean, you're doing a hell of a job at your house.
I'm heading out to New York this weekend.
Okay.
I got to head out there.
All
I got to go pick up the trailer and all the gear
Okay.
that's out there.
And you're like podcasting from your house there, Bob. Look,
Sunday nights. That's our giveaways. That's when we do our giveaways and shit like that.
how do
So
we?
we'll run
where
a
do we
highlight
find you?
reels
Right.
or
Where do we find you? Right on Facebook.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Right on. Donny Brooke Fight Promotions.
And you're giving away stuff this time.
And also we never send friend requests.
Yeah. I've noticed that you guys have been there's a lot of scammers that try to attach themselves to and ride your wave, man. That's crazy.
Always.
So be leery of that. Just go to DonnyBrookFightPromotions.com. That's the safest way to do it.
Absolutely.
And get all your links and all your information right from your Facebook page or your Instagram. It's all right there.
Yep.
Everything that you guys do and produce is outstanding. The quality is amazing.
That's
Your photography, your video, your production, whether it's live or whether it's on social media, it's all top notch, man. So,
thank you.
thanks, Rex.
Sorry. Dog's
Yeah.
taking up all my attention.
Yeah, your little doggy there. Thanks for coming in, brother.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you, and we're going to be obviously talking about this an awful lot between now and May 25th.
Absolutely. Start getting the fighters on. Get Taylor down.
Yeah, can we?
Yeah.
And Sophia, you think we can make that happen?
Oh, probably. You got to get in touch with Sophia and stuff, though.
Well, I have. I've reached out to her. She's a busy girl. I'll try.
She'll spend that $1,500.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Rex.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for coming in, buddy.
All right, you too.
Over and out. Rex Thompson, Donny Brooke Fight Promotions. Proud sponsor of the Aired Out podcast, along with Granite City MMA. We'll catch you again soon, bud.